for clicking on this video. As you can see in the thumbnail and title, I'm coming back with another cooking video. And in this video here, I am going to be sharing 3 really easy recipes that you can cook in under 30 minutes. So I'm really excited to be sharing these recipes. But before we get into this video, welcome back to all y'all who keep coming back. I really appreciate you guys. If you don't know who I am, my name is Sabrina. I'm a busy working mom of 4, and y'all, my life is pretty crazy, so I don't really have time to be cooking these long meals, and I have mastered the ways of cutting corners and cutting my cooking in half, and I share all types of videos like that. So if you are interested, make sure you are following me and subscribing and all that good stuff. But enough of this talking, let's get into the video. I am going to be cooking some enchilada soup and queso chicken. A lot of the meat that I am going to be cooking is already pre-cooked, and if you watched my last video, definitely check out that video. I show how I pre-cook all my meat. I really just take one day and I cook all of my meat literally in one day for the month, and it cuts my cooking time literally in half. But if you don't have time for that, that's okay. I will also give you the recipe and the ingredients and all that stuff, that how I cook my meat. Alright, you guys, now I'm going to start with my chicken enchilada soup. If you guys don't know, I don't really measure my food when I cook, so all of the measurements I'm giving you guys are estimate, so definitely season the food to your taste buds. As you can see, I am drizzling a little bit of olive oil in my Instapot. You can cook this in a regular pot or that you have, but you know, I always love my Instapot. And I diced up 1 whole onion. I am cooking this on the saute setting of my Instapot, and I'm just going to stir this up just a little bit. Once the onions are translucent, I add about 3 cloves of chopped garlic. I'm now about to add about 1 cup of mesa. Alright, I stir it in and I cook it for about a minute or 2. Once everything is stirred, I then add some chicken broth. I add about 32 ounces. I pretty much use the whole thing. I may leave a little bit in there and add the rest later, but I just want to make sure I even out the mesa in there so it's not chunky. Now it's time for me to add my cooked taco chicken meat. If you watched my last video, I do show how I pre-cook all my meat for making different recipes. So definitely I'll have that video popping up somewhere, or a link where the description box is. So definitely click that link to find the recipe for that. But any taco chicken meat works perfect for this recipe. Alright, I'm going to add 1 can of fire roasted tomatoes, diced tomatoes, or any type of diced tomatoes will work perfect. Even rotel diced tomatoes work really good in this recipe. 1 can of chopped green chilies. I have the small can. 1 small can of enchilada sauce. And I added 2 cans of rinsed and drained black beans. I'm now just going to stir that in just a little bit. I also added the rest of the chicken broth. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of taco seasoning, a little less than a teaspoon of cumin, a little less than a teaspoon of chili powder, and a little less of a teaspoon of black pepper. This is totally optional. I also added about a teaspoon of chicken bouillon. I also added about 8 ounces of cheese, and I let it cook for about 5 minutes. Alright, and this is how it turned out. It was super delicious. I added a little bit of cheese on top and some sour cream and chips. You can also add some olives, some salsa, some avocados, whatever you want. You can garnish it any way you like. The kids absolutely love it. It's one of their favorite dishes that I make for them. Definitely, if you tried this recipe out, definitely let me know in the comment section or tag me in your Instagram or Facebook post. I definitely want to see it. Definitely let me know if this, if it turned out good for you. On to beef enchiladas. This time I decided to make my homemade enchilada sauce. You can also use canned enchilada sauce, whatever which works for you. It's really easy to make, just to let you know. So I drizzle a little bit of olive oil in the pan. Then I'm going to put about 2 to 3 tablespoons of mesa. I'm gonna let that cook for about a minute or two, and then I'm going to add 1 can of tomato sauce. Then I mix that in really good. Alright, I'm about to put about a little over a teaspoon of cumin, probably about a tablespoon of cumin, I would say, and then I'm gonna put about a tablespoon of chili powder, and then I'm going to put about a teaspoon of black pepper. And I also added about a teaspoon of garlic salt. I also added a little bit of onion powder, about a teaspoon or more of onion powder. And like I said, I seasoned my food to taste. I feel like it needed a little bit more chili powder, so I added a little bit more. So that's why I said about a tablespoon altogether. But definitely, as you season, just keep tasting it and seeing if it's, to your liking. After you mix all your seasonings in, for me, I like all my sauces chunky. That's just the type of person I am. This is totally optional. I did add 1 can of rotel. Now it's time to cook or warm up my taco shells. I'm using corn tortillas, but there are some people who like flour tortillas. You can do that as well. If I was going to use flour tortillas, I would just warm them up in the microwave beforehand and then wrap it up. So right now I am just going to place my tortilla shells just in the frying oil for just a couple seconds, just enough for them to get soft. Now it's time to roll these enchiladas up. Back to my last video, if you watched that video, I'm actually going to be using the meat that I cooked in my last video, and that is my beef taco meat. You can also use your chicken taco meat if you want to make chicken enchiladas, but for me, these are the beef ones. So as you can see in the bag, I already have my beef taco meat already ready to go. I also have some Velveeta cheese cubed up on the side, and I also have some one whole diced onion. So what I'm going to do is add like a spoonful of meat, a little bit of the cheese, and a little bit of the onion, and I'm going to roll all of them up. I believe this one pan can make about 16 to 20 enchiladas. It just give and take on how many pans you're gonna need, but for this one I think I made about 16. Now it's time to pour that enchilada sauce on top. Just to let you know, I did not use all of the sauce. I did have a little bit left over, half of it left over, honestly. I ended up just putting it in a container and putting it in the refrigerator, or you can put it in the freezer. It freezes perfectly for the next time you want to make enchiladas. And of course, you gotta sprinkle a little bit of cheese up on there, and then I'm going to set this sucker in the oven, and I say it cooks in about 15 minutes, just enough for the cheese to melt. Here's another banger, y'all. Came out super delicious. Just to let you know, if you do make extra or have too much enchiladas left over, you can put them in the freezer. They freeze extremely well. Alright, now it's time for queso chicken, y'all. Now this one's a super easy, yummy recipe, delicious, yummy, yummy, yummy. I don't know how many times I could say it, but this is a beginner-friendly recipe, let me just say, okay? First, just to let you know, I have a clean hand and a dirty hand. Right now I'm using my clean hand, and the other side is the dirty hand. If you get what I'm saying, dirty hand as it touched the contaminated meat. But anyway, I put about a little bit over a teaspoon of onion powder, and then I'm putting a little bit over a teaspoon of some garlic salt, and I'm also going to be using some black pepper. I've said this probably 100 million times up in this video, but I'm gonna say it again because I know somebody's gonna say something. I season my food to taste, so if something's too much for you or whatever, do you boo, do what works for you, okay? So yeah, and then I make sure I season both sides of my meat because I do not like bland food. That's not how my life been set up, and it just don't work like that. Yeah, I realized I got a little heavy-handed on that onion powder, my bad, but it still came out good, y'all. Anyway, so I'm putting some more black pepper. I'm gonna put 1 can of rotel on there, and you just spread that on out like that, like so, like such and such. Then I sprinkle a little bit of taco seasoning on there. I put about a tablespoon or so. I'm also adding a jar of some queso dip. Then now I'm just going to spread it out, make sure it's nice and even. Of course, you need to top it off with some cheese. Alright, set that bad boy in the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. Alright, and this is what it turned out after about 25-30 minutes in the oven. Super yummy. The kids love it. Oh, serve it with some rice, y'all. I'm telling you, winner. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely give this video a thumbs up. Definitely share it out there with some future cooks out there. I appreciate all y'all love and support. Thank you so much for everything that y'all do for this channel and helping me grow. Definitely follow me on my Instagram. It's lazycookingwithsabrina. And I'll have the link to that somewhere. So definitely wherever the links are at, that's where that link would be. So definitely follow me there because I'll have recipes and pictures and all type of fun stuff there. And I'll catch you guys in my next video. And as always, guys, God bless. Mwah.